Peppa Pig pretends to be simple. It's lying. Because once you watch closely, you realize the background is doing some very strange things. Characters appear, vanish, get promoted, and occasionally get rewritten by the internet itself. These are the Peppa Pig background characters hiding in plain sight. Blink once, and you'll miss them. Mr. Labrador. He's one of those blink and you miss it adults who feels like he's everywhere, despite never getting a proper introduction. Officially, Mr. Labrador pops up alongside Mr. Bull on building jobs, and he even runs the archery stall at the fun fair. We often see him appear in Mr. Bull's construction scenes, usually rolling up with the concrete truck or helping dig up the road like he's part of Mr. Bull's regular crew. His vibe is instantly locked in during the episode. Mr. Bull in a china shop. Right after the teapot chaos, in that deep, laid-back southern voice, he calmly announces,
"I've got a rivet gun."
It's a tiny line, but it nails his vibe. Calm, practical, and always on the job. But then Mr. Labrador casually changes careers, because in Peppa Pig, jobs are apparently optional. In the episode Ice Cream, he's suddenly running the ice cream van, still using that same laid-back southern worksite voice.
"What flavor would you like?"
And somehow, even while handing out sprinkles, he still feels like a bloke who could finish this shift and be back on a building site with Mr. Bull 10 minutes later. Carol Cow. She's one of Peppa Pig's best hidden characters, because she didn't even start as a real character. Carol's very first appearance is as an unnamed background calf in the episode Mr. Potato's Christmas Show, sitting quietly in the front row like she accidentally wandered in from another episode. No name, no introduction, no explanation. Blink and you miss her, which is kind of the point. After that, she popped up in quick cameos, usually beside Mrs. Cow like she was quietly part of the family lineup, including the London episode and the Perfect Day episode. Fans eventually noticed her so often that they did what the show didn't. They named her. Carol Cow started as a fan nickname online, and then the show quietly made it canon, confirming she's Mrs. Cow's daughter. But here's the weird part. After a handful of appearances, Carol vanishes again. Her last known appearance is in the Detective Potato episode in season 6. And somehow, she doesn't show up at her own mom's wedding to Mr. Bull, which raises a few uncomfortable questions. If Mr. Bull is her stepdad now, why do we never see them together? And where exactly did Carol Cow go? Because Peppa Pig is very good at introducing characters. It's just not always great at keeping track of them. Mr. Bull, he's not hidden in the background like the other characters. He's hidden in plain sight because Peppa Pig treats him like the town's secret emergency button. Need a road fixed? A pothole filled? A random job covered? Mr. Bull appears. He first appeared in the recycling episode, but for many his most iconic mode is Construction Chief Energy with Mr. Rhinoceros and Mr. Labrador. And just in case you forgot who he is, he even gets his own episode, Mr. Bull in a China Shop, where his entire personality is summed up in one word.
Stop!
After Miss Rabbit kindly fixes his teapot, Mr. Bull decides to repay her in the only way his brain understands, by repairing the road. Mandy Mouse. She started as one of those blink and you'll miss it cameos in the London episode, and then she properly debuted in her self-titled Mandy Mouse episode. That Mandy uses a wheelchair because her legs don't work well, and the show treats that as a completely normal part of life. There's no big announcement or dramatic moment. She's simply included just like everyone else going about her day in Peppa Town. Fun fact, Mandy isn't slower, she's faster. The show literally points out that she's the quickest of the group thanks to her wheelchair speed advantage, which feels like Peppa Pig casually flexing inclusivity without making a fuss about it. So did you spot Mandy rolling through London before her proper debut, or did she zoom onto your radar later? Let us know in the comments below. Molly Mole. Molly Mole is one of those Peppa Pig kids who exists in a very specific way. She's definitely part of the class, but only when the class needs padding. She's not a full-time regular like Susie Sheep or Danny Dog. Instead, Molly pops up when the playgroup needs a few extra bodies, delivers a line or two, and then quietly tunnels back out of the episode. Her debut is in the episode Molly Mole, and her latest listed appearance is in the episode Mr. Bull the Teacher. But in between, she mostly lives in big crowd episodes like World Book Day or Mandy Mouse, where half the class is on screen and no one's keeping attendance. Very rarely does she have her own storyline. She just drops in for a few lines, reacts to something, and is gone. But personality-wise, she can be a bit bossy to Peppa and Susie, so when the class is doing activities together, she's the kind of kid who'll try to take charge for a moment, then blend right back into the crowd. Penny Polar Bear. She's a hidden playgroup kid who somehow feels important, despite barely being around. Penny shows up late, disappears for long stretches, and then pops back in like she's always been there. Her first appearance is in the Undersea Party episode, where she introduces herself to Peppa with an aggressive little grrr. After that, Penny turns into a part-time resident of Peppa Town. She appears for a few key moments, then vanishes again. Her most recent appearance is Penny Polar Bear's Party, where she celebrates her birthday by playing ice hockey, which feels very on brand for someone raised in the Arctic. She's the daughter of Mummy Polar Bear and Dr. Polar Bear, and she's definitely not just a polite background extra. In the episode Playgroup Garden, Penny gets into an actual argument with Peppa and Danny over whose sunflower is the tallest. So yes, she's a hidden character, but she's got presence. Oh, and fun detail, Penny is one of the very few playgroup kids who wears glasses. Belinda Bear. Belinda is hidden in a completely different way, not because she's hard to spot, but because she exists in the older kids' bubble that Peppa Pig only visits once in a while. We first meet her in the episode Chloe's Big Friends, where she's part of Chloe's crew. You know, the kids who act as if they've emotionally outgrown jumping in puddles. She calls George.
Ja.
Casually labels Peppa and George as little, and announces that she's not into children's music, before inevitably dancing to it anyway. Classic. If you want the clearest proof that Belinda is meant to be older, the skateboarding episode seals it. She casually drops,
I'm nearly 10.
then proceeds to actually teach Peppa how to skateboard, checking if she's okay like a responsible preteen who's been put in charge for 5 minutes. Design-wise, she's also easy to clock, pale pink glasses and a striped dress, which is rare in Peppa Pig. So yeah, Belinda isn't hidden because she blends in. She's hidden because she's already mentally left playgroup. Mr. Bear. Mr. Bear is basically the definition of a hidden character in Peppa Pig because he only exists on screen for a single stop. He appears in the episode Once Upon a Time, and that's it. First appearance, last appearance, job done. That one episode footprint is why so many viewers forget he's even part of the world. He's not a regular like Mr. Bull or Miss Rabbit. He doesn't pop up in crowds. He doesn't get those random job switch cameos. He's just there for that story and gone. So when people talk about characters who feel real, but also kind of erased, Mr. Bear is up there, not because he's mysterious on purpose, but because the show never gives him a second chance to be remembered. Mrs. Badger. Mrs. Badger is one of those characters who feels like a main character for a minute, but is actually a stealth side quest. She's a potato farmer with a West Country accent, and her biggest spotlight is the episode The Petting Farm, where she walks Peppa and the kids through the animals like she runs the whole place, which, to be fair, she kind of does. Her potato farm is so big that when Daddy Pig sees all the potatoes, he thinks the farm is Potato City. But here's where she gets oddly hidden. The show says she's married to Mr. Badger, yet she's never really shown with him and never even mentions him, which makes her family life feel like it got cut out of the series. And speaking of characters who technically exist, the next one is so sneaky he literally shows up before the show even properly introduces him. Daddy Fox. Daddy Fox, aka Mr. Fox, is one of those characters who feels like a main character every time he shows up, yet somehow still lives in the background like a local legend. He's Freddy Fox's dad, he's married to Mummy Fox, and he runs that everything shop where you can ask for basically any random item and he'll act like it's totally normal. In the episode Mr. Fox's Shop, his confidence is unmatched. He proudly announces,
My shop has everything!
with the energy of someone running a superhero supply depot, not a small town store. And he's such a smooth seller, he'll even take buttons from George instead of real money. He also pops up quietly in the episode Night Animals, casually strolling past Grandpa Pig's chicken coop, which feels like a subtle Fox joke slipped in for anyone paying attention. But here's the genuinely weird part. Daddy Fox's name and voice actor appear in the end credits of the episode Princess Peppa, before he's ever properly introduced on screen as Freddy Fox's dad. So either he was meant to appear and got cut at the last second, or Mr. Fox existed in Peppa Town before his physical form was ready, which honestly feels very on brand for a man who can sell you anything, including himself. So, which character was the weirdest to you and which one have you spotted before? Let us know in the comments. And if you want more Peppa Pig theories, hidden details, and things the show is hiding from you, check out our other videos on the channel. We'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.